morning. I'm Colette Linden. You're watching the special report with Christopher Oldcorn. Thank you to Casey Security for your sponsorship. So, Mr. Mann, the weather was good. The weather was cold.
Mm-hmm. I was correct when I said freaking cold for the weekend.
Well, indeed it was.
For those of you that don't know, on Friday, I came on the air. I was on the meeting till about 5 minutes before we got on the air. I came in, I started to do the weather, and realized that my producer had given me Thursday's weather. And Mike apologizes right now in my ear for that. So I just went with freaking cold for the weekend, and I was correct. It was -1 when I got up on Sunday morning around 6:30.
Yeah. Why did you get up at 6:30 on the weekend?
My alarm was set for 7:15 on Saturday and Sunday. I was up by 6:30 both days. I don't know why. It's just
I don't know what to say to that.
My body's used to getting up at 5:30, and on the weekend it's like, oh, let's sleep in an hour, but then I'm getting you up. So,
no, thank you. No, thank you. Not me. It was.
I wish I could fix that, but
we did a lot of things outside. But yesterday was pretty nice though in the afternoon.
Well, it started at -1, and I think we got up to like 15 or something.
Yeah,
it was quite the change difference between like 6:30 in the morning and about 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we've got weather today too. Danny is in the corner with the weather. What's it like there, Danny?
Good morning, everyone. So for today's weather, we're currently sitting at 7 degrees, and that's going to go up to about 23 today. It's going to be a mix of sun and clouds. We're going to move into tomorrow. It's also, just let me have a look-see at this, it's going to be a high of 24 with a low of 9. And then there is a chance of mix of sun and clouds tomorrow as well. And then heading into Wednesday, it's going to be nice, bright, and sunny with a high of 20 and then a low of 8. So for all those people out there trying to enjoy the first day of June, it's going to be a pretty good start to the week. And back to the desk.
Thanks, Danny. So it's National Tourism Week, which is kind of funny. I wanted to start off the bit of banter newscast about that today because, we've had that ad in their local.
For those of you who don't know, the city of Sault Ste. Marie paid to put a story into the Explore magazine, which is one of Canada's largest travel magazines. And then when comments were put onto the City of Sault Ste. Marie's on the Facebook page connected to that story, last week the City of Sault Ste. Marie hid all the negative comments and left all the positive ones.
Yes.
However, magically this weekend, all the negative comments reappeared.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so apparently the propaganda department at the city decided to
sprinkle a little fairy dust on it, and then
this must have been a technical error. However, the propaganda department at the city decided they'll now allow negative comments on stories, which is interesting. And on top of that, I've been receiving messages from other people about their comments being hid by the city as well.
Really?
Yes. Apparently that is. It makes total sense given the people who are the communications managers in this town, who happen to be married. This Algoma Public Health and the city have this, their communications managers are married, and they seem to have a very similar way in operating.
Yes.
With regards to communicating with the public.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to say.
So happy Monday morning, City of Sault Ste. Marie.
I'm just like. I'm the bright, shiny one.
But the good news is, negative comments have now appeared on that story again. The original negative comments that they hid. So
what are the comments in that? So let's not dive too deep into this. But what are the comments? They don't want people coming right now. They are of the same same mindset that we are.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like right now, we have had 21 positive cases in Algoma, and we've had 21 recoveries, which means we are at a big 0 right now for positive COVID-19 cases. Let's not invite people from elsewhere in this country that have positive COVID-19 cases to the Sault and surrounding area right now. We don't want people from Toronto coming here right now. 2/3 of all the cases of COVID-19 in Ontario happen to be from Toronto. The last thing we want to do is be like, hey guys, come on up and mountain bike and go into our Tim Hortons and touch the bathroom. And no, stay in Toronto. Do your park thing there where you can't socially distance. Don't come here. And that's basically the comments that were hidden. Were ones that were basically saying,
so the
virus isn't under control. Don't invite people here. What are you thinking down at City Hall?
Okay, but so what I'm trying to get at is that there was nothing offside or off color, perhaps in the tone of racism or anything like that.
Oh no, this was just
that was removed. That's what I just want to clarify. What exactly are they removing?
People here when we're in the middle of a global pandemic. Like, it makes no sense, and I absolutely 100% agree with those comments.
Yeah.
And more of those negative comments actually appeared this weekend as well, and they haven't been hidden yet, but we'll see what happens with those ones.
Okay.
Maybe there's a change in policy now at City that someone in this town in the media has actually called the city out for hiding negative comments on their website when they don't like them. I'm sorry, this is not Michelle Rempel's Twitter page where if you remotely even say anything to Michelle Rempel, she blocks you. As a matter of fact, there's a hashtag, blocked by Rempel. You can even buy a cup of Michelle Rempel, blocked by Rempel. She's a conservative.
I will
MP from
definitely
Alberta.
look it up. I will definitely
Okay,
look it up.
moving on.
Okay, there's been a lot of rallies against what's going on in Minneapolis that I wanted to
Yes.
touch on today. But we are running out. We've got to
George
run to a
Floyd.
commercial, so I don't want to jump into that till after the commercial. Do you have something you'd like to update everybody with before we go to a commercial?
Yeah,
Perhaps another-
I kind of just mentioned it, but
Yeah.
we have no positive cases
Yeah.
in Algoma that we know of right now. That's good. Our number of infections in Ontario is going down by the day.
Yeah, I heard that this
We were
morning.
326 on Saturday. And this is amazing. On Friday, we did over 20,000 tests. We
I
actually
know.
almost did the absolute maximum amount of tests we could. We did another 17,000 on Saturday. We don't have Sunday's numbers yet. But the cases in Ontario are declining. We did have a spike of over 400 cases for 5 days. They're
Great.
attributing that to Mother's Day.
Oh,
because
awesome.
of the
Okay.
incubation time of the virus.
Yeah.
So that's why we saw a spike in cases, but now it's going back down.
Okay.
That's what the chief medical officer is saying anyways.
Good.
And you know, we've said this over and over again before every major holiday and special day since this started. Please stay home, don't meet with your family, and they're attributing those
Yeah.
cases to the family gatherings and stuff.
Well, we got to hope that
And,
Father's
yeah.
Day and everything, just people
Yes,
take that in
in
check.
June.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
A message from the Government of Canada.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room, create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern Peoples Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road. Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service. King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Government Road, and even on Pine Shores. Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
Welcome back. Thank you, Casey Security, for your sponsorship. Over to you, Danny.
Thanks, Colette. So we just want to let everyone know, Starbucks, the one up on Great Northern, they just put out on Facebook or Instagram the other day that one of their partners may have been in contact with COVID-19. So what they've done is they completely shut down the store again. Unfortunately, they just reopened and now it's shut down again. So for that partner and for those individuals who could have been exposed, we hope everything's going okay. And we also would like to announce that effective today, individuals are now allowed to camp on Crown land. So Parks Canada is open. You're able to go in, do that, but just remember to keep with social distancing. 16 and be very respectable of the grounds. Back to the desk.
Well, thank you, Danny. Moving on to the Alrighty, thank you very much for that. Alrighty, so let's do our Facebook shoutouts. Good morning to Tammy Lynn. Good morning to Daniel from KC Security. And those are our 2 shoutouts so far. If you want to send us a message, you can. Go to Facebook, go to the Facebook Live feed that you'll find on our Facebook page. And you can actually put in the comment section. You can say good morning, you can ask us a question, those sorts of things.
Actually, Chris, I forgot. It's June 1st.
Yes, it is.
So happy June.
Yes.
Summer's officially going to be here in 20 days.
Yeah, hopefully.
It is.
I mean, it's -1 yesterday when I got up, so that wasn't very...
Regardless, it means the 20th of June.
Officially on the calendar it'll be here.
That's
but,
correct.
Yeah.
So don't pop my bubble, okay?
Okay,
All right.
sorry about
Back
that.
at you. Sorry to interrupt.
All right, so I'm just going to explain what happened at Starbucks, so you kind of understand like why is it that Starbucks had to shut down. What happens is when you find a case that of COVID-19 that's positive, so that person then has to sit down, not in person obviously, with someone from Algoma Public Health. And what they do is they look at what did this person do in the past few weeks? And then they go to each different spot that the person went to and said, look, people at this location could have been exposed to COVID-19. Or maybe it's in your workplace. Like let's say, for example, let's say I had COVID-19 and I was positive. They would come and check everybody in my workplace, and they would, if we were a food establishment, they would shut us down while we do a deep clean, and then we'd be allowed to reopen again. This is the policy of the provincial government on what happens if someone's exposed in a workplace.
Which is all great. And
exactly.
glad that they
So
do not
like
have
let's
those
say I
regulations.
they'd come in here and you would have to clean every surface in here with Lysol and other disinfectants in the whole building before everybody would be able to come back in and start working again. So that's kind of what is happening at Starbucks. It doesn't mean that there's a positive case at Starbucks. It just means that someone at that Starbucks was exposed. And it could not, and the exposure might not even been at Starbucks. It could have been like, oh, it's the person's neighbor and they were chatting out on the front lawn, and then they had exposure there to the neighbor, and then that neighbor works at Starbucks. Yeah. So it doesn't mean that the person with COVID-19 actually went into the Starbucks. It just means someone who works there was exposed, and right now they're not taking any chances when it comes to COVID-19. Good on Starbucks for shutting down for a deep clean for a couple days, and hopefully they'll be open soon. The Starbucks at Pino's, though, is still open. It's just the one that's the standalone store on Great Northern. So if you want your Starbucks lattes, you got to go to Pino's right now. Okay, and then also, the numbers for Ontario have been good, and I just said that before the break. But there's a couple things I want to talk about as well, in addition to the numbers going down. And that is we only had 19 deaths on Saturday, which is very, very good. But when you start looking deeper into the statistics, a couple things pop out. For example, people 39 and under, only 8 people have passed away in that demographic. It shows that most young people who get this can actually fight against this disease and fight back against it, and they're not succumbing to it. A lot of this has to do with the fact that a lot of the people who are passing away from COVID-19 already have at least 2 serious medical conditions, and so their body is not operating at 100% in its ability to fight back against COVID-19. But in healthy individuals, it's very rare for someone to actually pass away from COVID-19. So in the general population, that's very, very positive. Now, I want to talk about long-term care homes. When I came on Friday, it was still under 300 long-term care homes that were positive for COVID-19. There's now 306 outbreaks, which means we're approaching 50% of our 626 long-term care homes in the province having COVID-19 outbreaks. Also, hospitalizations have been dropping rapidly, and as of Saturday, we only had 781 people in the hospital, which is even down from 801 on Friday, and we have 118 people in the ICU and only 84 people on ventilators. Okay. To put that into perspective, 3 weeks ago we had almost 300 people on ventilators. So not only are our daily case counts going down, but also the seriousness of the cases and the people who are hospitalized is also dropping, which is a good sign. And we're going to be going back to a break in just one moment. I will be interviewing Donna Hilsinger, the Sault Ste. Marie counselor, later today, and you'll be able to watch part of that interview tonight on my show at 7 p.m. And we're going to go to commercial. We'll be back with more news. See you in a minute.
though we can't always meet in person, we can still listen.
Even though schools are closed, help is still available in your community.
Even though you may be worried, services and supports are still here.
In stressful times like these, families need mental health supports more than ever.
We are here to make sure you can stay connected to your community and culture.
Nous savons qu'il peut être difficile de rester à la maison, mais vous n'êtes pas seul.
And we know asking for help for yourself and others can be hard.
But there are people in your community who are ready to support you.
No matter your age, gender, sexual identity, race, or culture.
No matter the day, time, or issue.
We're here to help.
Welcome back on this fine Monday, June 1st,
Yes.
where we are close to official day of summer. So there's a 30-day limit on prescriptions in Ontario right now. I don't know if I know we all have our own prescriptions that we have to order, and usually I get mine days in 90-day increments. So I'm extremely excited that as of July 1st, we are to be able to go back to order 2 regular 9-month sizes. Because Chris and I do not have family doctors here.
Nope.
So to go to the hospital every 30 days and bother the staff and sit there for 3 hours to
3 hours? Last time I was there was 12.
Yeah, but you know why? I think they like me.
Yeah, I don't think I'm very popular at the hospital.
I'm just bugging you, buddy. Some days.
No, I'm really not popular at the hospital.
I know. I'm just trying to make you feel better.
That's just the way it goes.
So it's been kind of great, but the doctor has been doing it over the phone, to be honest with you. And they did give me an 800 number the last time and said, you know what, we don't want you coming in the hospital to renew your prescription, so here is a number. So they did make alternatives, which was amazing. So,
and also, with those 30-day prescriptions, you're not supposed to be getting charged extra filling fees. So if you normally fill every 90 days, they're charging you 1 filling fee. If they're charging you every single month, go to the pharmacy, make a complaint, get your money back, because the provincial government regulates that.
There you go.
And so you are only paying 1 filling fee per 90 day of a prescription. So if you are paying that extra $7 or whatever, then go back to the pharmacy, get your money back, and if they disagree, call the Ontario government, because they don't have control over that. The provincial government does.
I wonder if there are different dispensaries will do that, like different shoppers, IDA has a different.
Do it. They've been told by the government not to.
Oh.
So if they are doing it, they're actually breaking
the law.
The law.
Let's talk about people breaking the law.
Sure. Which dumb criminal are we talking about?
Where do you want to start today?
Where?
Well, let's talk about the protesters that went on in Toronto this weekend.
Yes.
It was a rally against. Protesters rally against anti-Black Indigenous racism in Toronto. They are practicing their measures using their masks, but I don't know. A lot of this stuff has been going. A lot of things have stirred from the unfortunate events that happened in Minneapolis. And by the way, we'd get back to those reporters too, because I was wondering if you had heard an update on them. But yeah, there's a lot of people really taking to the streets on this. So what are your thoughts with our measures in place with COVID-19 and all of this? Is it irresponsible? Is it?
My personal opinion is I would not participate, even though under normal circumstances I might.
Yeah.
I think it would be better not to be doing this right now.
Yeah.
A lot of these issues are not going away anyways, so whether or not you have the protests today or in 2 months,
they're not.
The same issues still exist. I mean, particularly in America, it's just systemic through the whole system.
Yep.
I mean, if they found a way to socially distance, but in that photo, those videos, I don't see social distancing.
But more to the side of the issue itself and racism, and it's obviously clearly a heavy topic. But we had the girl that I was telling you about in Toronto the other day, who was in the hallway, and her parents were in the hallway, heard her. That's what the point was for the Toronto rally this weekend. So, a lot of stuff's going on in Minneapolis. Like on Friday, we showed a special little segment on the CNN reporters.
yes,
how
who was arrested.
There was a Hispanic reporter, there was a white reporter. They literally took the man on live television.
On live television,
I
they
still can't
arrested
get over that.
the black reporter live on television.
Yeah.
After they got rid of him, they continued to talk to the white producer and the Hispanic cameraman.
With no repercussions
and
or
then
anything. Or
they arrested the Hispanic cameraman, but never arrested the white producer.
I really don't know.
Which is not
Bizarre.
weird in the U.S. That's just normal. It just happened to be caught on camera.
Yeah. But I think people are under so much pressure and
stress
nervous
right now.
stress from everything going on that, you know, when stuff like this is happening, they want to do something about it. And they want to say, hey, we're not going to sit back on our heels just because of this. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. Those several rallies. But okay, so Elon Musk, Mr. Money Man, did it. He did it. Up and away.
19 hours. They made it all the way
Did
to
you
space
watch the
station.
launch? Oh, we've got some pictures. That's great.
Here we go.
So there's 2 pilots on board, as everybody knows by now, Doug and Bob.
Wasn't that a TV show when we were a kid?
I was laughing. We were like, Doug and Bob.
Doug from Canmore?
It was really
Mike
good.
from Canmore?
So the two U.S. test pilots on board the SpaceX Dragon capsule entered the International Space Center on Saturday, carrying, like we said, Doug and Bob, who pulled up to the station hours after they docked. I heard they had an 8-hour nap after they took off. They got to sleep for 8 hours. It was a 19-hour journey.
It's a long journey.
I have problems
Long
following
commute to work.
That's a hell of a commute, all
Our
right.
commute is about 9 minutes. They had 19 hours. They
Yeah,
had some time to kill.
It's just, you know, I don't think I could fall asleep in a tight, closed area like that in space, Chris. I can't go to bed on a flat bed in Sault Ste. Marie half the nights.
I can't imagine it's a smooth ride either. So we'll be back in one moment. Hold tight. See you in a sec.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades including installation are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
And welcome back to Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. For 1 o'clock today, Doug Ford is having his normal press conference, and today it's going to be Greg Rickford, who is the Minister of Energy, Northern Development, Mines, and Minister of Indigenous Affairs. And also the Associate Minister of Energy, Bill Walker, will also be with him there to make an announcement. So we'll be carrying that at 1 o'clock on the special report at Midday Edition. And now for some entertainment news.
Yeah, and entertainment news, it's thin this weekend because a lot of actors and singers and those with, well, who live comfortably, having large salaries and entertaining everyone in front of the television, they are all coming together to rally in support of racism and just to go to their local government and start it from there, although it's a higher piece there. So Jane Fonda, actually, I found it interesting. She got herself involved as well because she was trying to say, yeah, you know what, this is the privilege of the white person. So there was different stories that were going on. Jay-Z was one of the biggest voices over the weekend. I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but he's actually in contact with the Minnesota governor trying to to get somewhere with them because somebody's speaking up. But it's nice because I had a discussion on the weekend as well with all the money in this world and all the actors and all the sports figures in this world and all the people who need some extra money right now who have lost their jobs. I wonder what people are doing for their local communities who are in larger standing. I don't know if you've heard any stories about that, but I haven't. I mean, I think people give in their own manner, and it's a volunteer type thing where they want to keep their names out of the news, which is understandable. But I just, sometimes you think, these guys get these big salaries, might not help out,
Yeah, and actually on the sort of the flip side of that, I'm arranging an interview right now with the mayor of Stockton in California, and he and I are going to be talking about some local issues with regards to COVID-19, because California obviously has a large amount of COVID-19 cases, more than all of Canada does, and how is a local mayor dealing with it locally in the U.S. So that'll probably be on next week. So
well, Scott's Cafe, and just switch over to local before we have to end for the day.
Local.
Scott's Cafe and Shabby Maltley are doing something for the community today. They are giving back their funding. Is that their money back that they raised?
All
today?
money bought for beverages.
Beverages today is going into a pot to help out for is it local businesses, COVID-19? I'm not too sure what they're putting their money toward, but
it's actually towards Black Lives Matter.
That's then. So they will be going to do that today. So please go there, help out the community by doing that, and we will be back at 1 o'clock today.
Yes, and Scott's Coffee is in the Metro Plaza on Great Northern Road.
Yes.
For those of you that don't know where it is, it's actually right next to where I get my haircut. Hi, Luke. Hopefully you'll be open for business soon. My girlfriend had to do my hair again this weekend. And we'll be back at 1 o'clock with Doug Ford. I'm on at 7 p.m. tonight with Donna Hilsinger. Colette will be on at 5 for the news, and we will see you at 1. Hold tight. Have a great morning.